We have had quite a bit of news and images in the past few days, so I'm not going to waste any time and talk about them. So last week we got the title of Chapter 1 of Flux, which was the Halloween Apocalypse. This week we got the title of Chapter 2, which is War of the Sontarans. We also got a synopsis alongside it which confirms that this is the Crimean War story and that the Doctor and co will be seeking the help of Mary Seacole. I quite like the title, it definitely fits the Sontarans very well. It is slightly generic but no worse than something like Ascension of the Cybermen or the billionth something of the Daleks, and seeing as this is the first time we're going to see the Sontarans fighting an actual war, then War of the Sontarans works really well. We did also get some additional casting information for it as well, which was really interesting, and I think the big standout person here was that Dan Starkey is going to be back at playing some of the Sontarans. Not Strax, just some of the new Sontarans, and that's really cool. I was hoping they'd bring him in, but I didn't think they would, but I'm so glad they have. And although, we're not getting Strax back, it's not a returning character as such, it does feel like Dan Starkey is some sort of returning character. I mean, you can't really have a Sontaran story without Dan Starkey, so I'm so glad they've brought him in. We also got the confirmation that actor Jonathan Watson will be playing the other Sontaran, and both him and Dan Starkey will be playing multiple Sontarans because they are a clone species. And the Sontarans now have been confirmed to be in the Halloween Apocalypse alongside Carvanista, as well as the Weeping Angels have also been confirmed to be in the Halloween Apocalypse, which is really interesting. It seems we're getting an opening story with just loads of monsters in it, which is really cool. What I'm guessing will happen is they won't play that big of a role individually, but they'll all be in it and then they'll all go on to have their own chapters of Flux later on. And then we got our first clip from the series. It's not that long, doesn't show too much, but it is quite funny, and it just has Dan giving some sweets out to some trick-or-treaters, and then a man knocks on his door who's just not trick-or-treating, he's just knocking on people's door, and Dan basically just tells him to go away, but it's quite a funny scene. So, yeah, that's the clip. And recently, very recently in fact, we got some new promo images, one of which has new character Claire, played by Annabelle Sholey, and a Weeping Angel in. And one, the most interesting of the bunch, I think. Well, I mean, there are two others. There's one of Dan with a bunch of people, and then there's one of the Doctor who seems to be thinking about something. But the most interesting one is a picture of the TARDIS. It's all exploding, and the pillars appear to be decaying. Now, earlier in the year there was the rumour that in this series there was going to be a storyline about the TARDIS dying due to lots of small hints which could have just been coincidences, but this picture really does seem to make it look like that's happening. You can see on the pillars they are starting to decay, so maybe the TARDIS is in fact dying and that is going to be a storyline for this series. That's really interesting. I didn't really think there was much truth to that rumour, but if you look here, there definitely seems to be something happening, and I thought that'd be a really interesting storyline, so I hope that's what this is. And that's basically all the news we've had. There was quite a bit there, I'd say, and really interesting, but I want to hear your thoughts. War of the Sontarans, what do you think of as a title? Are you excited to see Dan Starkey back, and what do you think about the possibility that the TARDIS is in fact dying? Whatever you think, leave your thoughts down in the comments section below. In the meantime, I've been Cyberman Alf, and from me for now, it's goodbye.